The stars sparkled in the black sky above Earth, but this time the people looking up felt something new. A message had come from deep space, an invitation. It was from the Celestial Council, a group of powerful beings who watched over many alien worlds in the galaxy. They had invited Earth to join the greatest event in the universe, the Universal Beauty Pageant. Captain Mira Lang sat quietly in her small apartment in New York City, staring at the strange message glowing on her tablet. It was the first time Earth had ever been invited to such a grand event. Many humans did not even know about the Celestial Council or the galaxy beyond their own world, but now the whole planet was talking about it. Mira was a strong and smart woman. She was chosen to lead the team that would represent Earth. This was a big honor and a great challenge. The invitation said the pageant was not just about looks. It was about showing the best parts of a planet's culture, intelligence, and heart. The competition would have many strange and wonderful aliens from many different worlds. At the meeting, with Earth's leaders, Mira listened carefully as the plan was explained. The pageant would last several weeks. Each team would present their culture in many ways, through art, music, science, and even kindness. The judges were from the Celestial Council and were known to be wise and fair. Why did they choose Earth? Mira wondered. Earth was young in the galaxy, still learning to live with other species. Many alien worlds were more advanced or more beautiful, but maybe that was the point. Maybe Earth had something special inside. Back home, Mira started to prepare. She met with a small group of people who would join her. There was Arun, a musician who played strange instruments made from Earth's nature. He said music was a language all beings could understand. There was Lena, an artist who used light and colors to tell stories. There was also Dr. Hassan, a scientist who wanted to show how humans use their minds to solve problems. Together, they made a team full of hope. As they trained, news spread on Earth. People were excited, but some were afraid. What if aliens don't like us? Some said. What if we look weak? Others worried. Mira knew fear was natural, but she believed that Earth's true strength was in being honest and kind. One night, Mira looked at the stars again. She thought about the many worlds that would come to the pageant. Some would have bodies that glowed or changed shape. Some would have strange languages and strange ideas. But they all wanted to show who they were. The day of departure came quickly. At the spaceport, crowds gathered to see the team off. The spaceship that would take them to the pageant was unlike anything on Earth. It was big, shining silver, with strange symbols glowing softly on its sides. The Celestial Council had sent it to carry all the competitors. Mira felt nervous but proud as she stepped onto the ship. The engines hummed and the ship rose from Earth, leaving the blue planet behind. Outside the windows, the stars looked close now, as if welcoming them. Inside, the team met some other travelers. Most were from Earth, but a few alien helpers were there to guide them. The ship was full of life and hope. Mira walked to the observation deck and saw the galaxy in all its beauty. Swirling nebulae, shining stars, and distant planets. It was a reminder of how small Earth was, and how big their chance. As they traveled, Mira thought about the challenges ahead. The other teams might be stronger or smarter. The competition could be hard. But she knew one thing. Earth would show its true self. Not perfect, but real. Not the strongest, but the one with heart. She looked at her team. Arun was quietly practicing his music. Lena was drawing pictures of the stars, and Dr. Hassan was reading a book about alien cultures. They were ready. Suddenly, a soft voice came over the ship's speaker. Welcome, Earth team, to the Universal Beauty Pageant. We look forward to seeing what you will bring to the universe. Mira smiled. This was just the beginning of an adventure that would change everything. The great ship slowly approached the shining arena. It was unlike anything Mira had ever seen. The arena floated in space near a bright, colorful nebula. It looked like a giant crystal flower, glowing with blues, purples, and pinks. The whole place buzzed with excitement and light. Mira stood at the window, watching as ships from many alien worlds arrived. Some ships were smooth and silver, others were bright and covered in living plants. Some looked like giant shells, others like floating stars. The sky around the arena was full of strange lights and sounds. As the Earth team landed, they stepped out into a huge hall filled with beings of all shapes and sizes. Some were tall and thin, others small and round. Some had wings, some had fur, some had skin that changed color. There were creatures with eyes on their hands and others with many arms. It was a beautiful, strange crowd. Mira felt nervous. She looked at her own team. Aaron smiled and quietly nodded. Lena's eyes shone with wonder. Dr. Hassan looked serious, but curious. They knew they were different, but they also knew Earth had something special to show. The host of the pageant was a tall being with shining silver skin and eyes that seemed to hold stars. The host welcomed everyone in a voice that sounded like music. Welcome to all worlds. Here we celebrate not just beauty, but the heart of each culture. Show us your world's stories, your hopes, and your dreams. After the welcome, the teams were given time to explore the arena. Mira walked carefully through the great halls. She met other contestants, some friendly, some quiet, some proud. She met Zoltar, a being made of light from a world covered in endless deserts. He glowed softly and spoke in a voice like wind. He told Mira about his planet's songs that told stories of courage and love. Mira also met Kira, a tall, blue-skinned woman with wings like a dragonfly. She came from a water world where her people could swim faster than any fish. Kira smiled warmly and said, "We all have stories to tell. I want to hear yours." As the days passed, Mira and her team learned about other worlds. They saw art, made of living crystals, dances that could change the air itself, and music that could heal wounds. Humans had never imagined such wonders. Despite the beauty, Mira noticed something else. Some teams looked down on Earth. They whispered that humans were simple and weak. Others were curious but unsure what Earth could offer. Mira felt a sting of sadness, but also a fire inside her. Earth might be young and small, but it was full of hope. One evening, as Mira walked in the quiet garden of the arena, she overheard a strange conversation. Two dark-clad beings spoke in low voices about plans to disrupt the pageant. They said Earth's arrival had upset their plans for control of the council. Mira's heart beat fast. Could this be true? Was the pageant only a game, or was there danger too? She decided she must watch carefully and protect her team. Back in their quarters, Mira shared her concerns with Arun, Lena, and Dr. Hassan. They agreed to stay alert. Arun said, "Maybe our music can bring peace," Lena added, "and our stories can show who we really are." The next day, the first events began. Contestants showed their cultures through exhibitions and performances. Earth's team presented a beautiful mix of music, art, and stories from their history. Aaron played his strange instruments, filling the hall with sounds no one had heard before, but many enjoyed. Lena showed paintings of Earth's mountains, rivers, and people. Dr. Hassan talked about Earth's scientific ideas and how humans always tried to learn and improve. Slowly, more aliens came to watch Earth's team. Some smiled, some nodded with respect. Mira saw that honesty and kindness were winning hearts. Still, the shadow of the dark plan weighed on her mind. She knew the pageant was more than just a contest. It was a chance for Earth to find a place among the stars, and also a chance to show what humans could do when faced with challenges. As the sun set on the nebula behind the arena, Mira looked at the stars again. The future was unknown, but she was ready to face it. With friends old and new, and the spirit of Earth inside her, she would stand strong. The grand arena buzzed with excitement. Contestants from many worlds gathered, ready to show their best. Today, the real competition would start. The Celestial Council had planned special trials. These trials were not only about beauty, but also about mind, heart, and spirit. Captain Mira Lang stood with her team in the large hall. Around them, beings of many kinds prepared too. Some stretched their arms, some practiced dances, others tuned strange instruments. Mira felt a mix of nervousness and hope. This was Earth's moment. The first trial was called the Trial of Creativity. Each team had to create a work that told the story of their home world. Humans decided to combine music, art, and stories into a single performance. Aaron carefully tuned his strange instruments made from wood and stones. Lena painted a large glowing mural that showed Earth's mountains, oceans, and people. Mira practiced telling a story of Earth's courage and kindness. When it was their turn, the Earth team stepped on the stage. Arun's music filled the hall with new sounds, soft and strong. Lena's glowing mural changed colors with the music. Mira's words painted pictures in the minds of the audience. The crowd was silent, then slowly began to clap. Some beings looked surprised. Earth was showing beauty they had not seen before. The judges smiled. One judge, a tall figure with shining blue skin, said, "Earth's creativity flows from the heart. It is different, but powerful." After the performance, Mira met some contestants who came to congratulate them. One was Zoltar, the being of light. "Your story touched me," he said. "It shows strength beyond appearance." The second trial was the trial of empathy. Contestants were paired with beings from other worlds. They had to understand each other's feelings and work together. Mira was paired with Kira, the winged woman from the water world. At first, it was hard. Kira's way of thinking was different. She spoke in soft sounds and used her wings to show feelings. Mira had to listen carefully and learn new ways to share thoughts. Together, they solved a puzzle that needed trust and kindness. By the end, Mira and Kira smiled. "We are different but connected," Kira said. "Your heart is open." Humans showed they could work with others, no matter how strange or different. This made many contestants respect them more. The third trial was the Trial of Intelligence. It was a test of knowledge and problem-solving. The Celestial Council gave all teams a mystery, a sudden disturbance in a far star system that needed quick thinking to save lives. Mira and her team studied the problem. Dr. Hassan explained human science and technology, while Arun and Lena helped with ideas from art and culture. Together, they worked fast, using logic and creativity. When the time came to present, Earth's team explained their solution clearly. The judges were impressed by how humans used many ways of thinking. One judge said, "Your minds are sharp and flexible." But not all was easy. Some teams tried to trick others or keep secrets. Mira noticed that the shadowy faction she had overheard before was acting strangely. They whispered and watched closely, trying to find weaknesses. Mira told her team to be careful. "We must stay true and work together. That is our strength." The trials brought Earth closer to the other contestants. Friendships grew. Mira and her team learned more about different cultures and shared more about Earth. They showed that humans were not just simple beings, but had deep feelings and bright minds. One night, after a long day of trials, Mira sat, alone in the observation deck. She looked out at the swirling stars and nebulae. The pageant was more than she had imagined. It was a test of spirit as much as skill. Suddenly, the ship's alarm beeped softly. Mira stood quickly. A voice came. Over the speakers, "Attention all contestants. A security alert has been raised. Please remain calm while investigation takes place." Mira's heart raced. Could the shadowy faction try to act now? She moved to gather her team. Arun, Lena, and Dr. Hassan were ready. Together, they decided to find out more. They talked with some friendly aliens and learned that some equipment had been tampered with in a restricted area. The sabotage was small, but dangerous. If left unchecked, it could grow worse. Mira knew that the pageant was at risk, but she also knew this was a chance to show humanity's courage and care. "Let's help," she told her team. "We cannot let fear win." The team worked with the arena's security to find clues. Arun used his music to calm nervous beings. Lena made maps of the area. Dr. Hassan studied data carefully. Slowly, they found signs of the saboteurs' plans. The shadowy faction wanted to cause chaos and stop the pageant. Their goal was to keep Earth and some other worlds out of the galactic community. Mira felt angry, but also determined. The pageant was not just a contest. It was a chance for peace and friendship. She promised herself that Earth would stand strong, no matter what came next. The excitement in the arena was high. Contestants were ready for the next challenge. But beneath the shining halls, danger waited. Mira had warned her team to be careful. Now, that warning was becoming real. Late at night, when most were resting, the arena's life support system began to fail. Oxygen levels dropped, lights flickered, and alarms rang through the corridors. Panic spread quickly among contestants and guests. The beautiful arena that had been a symbol of hope now felt like a trap. Mira was awake when the alarm sounded. She rushed to the control room with Arun, Lena, and Dr. Hassan. Screens showed chaos in different parts of the arena. The life support system had been sabotaged. Mira's heart beat fast, but she stayed calm. "We need to act quickly," she said. "If the air runs out, no one will survive." The team split up to help. Arun moved to calm frightened contestants with soft music from his instruments. Lena ran to help those trapped in dark corridors. Dr. Hassan worked with engineers to fix the broken systems. Mira led the search for the saboteurs. She knew the shadowy faction was behind this. Her mind raced, thinking of who might be responsible. They had to stop them before more damage happened. As she moved through the halls, Mira saw the faces of her new friends, Zoltar, Kira, and others. Their fear was clear, but so was their hope. Mira felt stronger for them. She would protect them. Suddenly, Mira heard a noise behind a door. She opened it slowly and found two figures trying to damage the controls again. Without hesitation, she called out, "Stop! You won't succeed!" The figures turned, surprised to be caught. One was a tall alien with dark eyes, the other a smaller being wearing a cloak. They tried to run, but Mira grabbed one and held firm. Security arrived quickly and took the saboteurs away. Mira's quick action had stopped a disaster. Back in the control room, Dr. Hassan and engineers worked fast to restore the life support system. Slowly, oxygen levels rose, lights returned, and the alarms stopped. The contestants and audience sighed in relief. The danger was over, at least for now. The Celestial Council held an emergency meeting. The leaders spoke strongly against the sabotage. They praised Mira and her team for their bravery and quick thinking. Mira stood before the council and the gathered contestants. Her voice was steady as she said, "We all came here to share our worlds and learn from each other. This attack is not just against Earth, but against peace and friendship. We must stand together." Her words moved many. Some who had doubted Earth now saw a new side of humanity. After the meeting, Mira found Zoltar waiting. "You saved many lives tonight," he said quietly. "Your courage shines bright." Kira nodded. "We are stronger when we trust each other. You have shown us that." Mira smiled, feeling hope grow inside her. The sabotage had tried to break them, but instead it had brought them closer. The pageant continued, but now with a new meaning. It was no longer just a contest of beauty or skill. It was a symbol of unity against fear and hate. Mira and her team worked harder than ever. They helped other contestants, shared stories, and built friendships. In the days that followed, investigations found more about the shadowy faction. They were a group afraid of change and the rising influence of new worlds like Earth. But the alliance of many species now stood against them. The pageant's next challenges awaited. But Mira knew one truth. No matter what happened, the spirit of Earth and its people would not be broken. She looked up at the glowing nebula outside the arena's windows. The colors swirled like a promise that no darkness could stop the light of hope. After the sabotage was stopped, the mood in the arena changed. Contestants worked together more than before. They knew the danger was real, but they also felt stronger as a group. Captain Mira Lang and the Earth team became symbols of hope and courage. One day, during a break in the pageant events, Mira received a secret message. It came from an anonymous source who said they had proof about the people behind the sabotage. The message asked Mira to meet in a quiet corner of the arena. Mira was cautious but curious. She went to the meeting place, a small garden filled with glowing plants. There, a figure stepped out of the shadows. It was a young alien named Rin, from a peaceful planet called Velara. "I do not trust the leaders of the shadowy faction," Rin said softly. "They want to control the Celestial Council and keep new worlds like Earth from growing. They fear change." Rin handed Mira a data chip. "This has their plans. Use it wisely." Mira looked at the chip and then at Rin. "Thank you. We must stop them together." Back with her team, Mira shared the information. Dr. Hassan quickly analyzed the data. It showed how the shadowy faction planned to use the chaos of the pageant to take control of the council and weaken Earth's influence. "This is serious," Hassan said. "We must act fast." The Earth team decided to talk to other contestants and leaders. They wanted to show the truth and build an alliance. Mira called a meeting with trusted representatives from many worlds. In a large hall, Mira stood before the group. She spoke clearly and honestly. "We face a threat not just to the pageant, but to all who want peace and friendship in the galaxy. The shadowy faction wants to divide us, but together, we are stronger." The crowd listened carefully. Zoltar, the being of light, stepped forward. "I have seen their lies. I stand with Earth." Kira, the winged woman, nodded. "We must unite and protect what we have built." More voices joined. The alliance grew. The Celestial Council held a special session to hear the evidence. Mira and her allies presented the data chip and shared their findings. The council leaders were shocked but grateful. They decided to act quickly. The shadowy faction members were removed from their positions. New rules were made to protect the pageant and the council from future attacks. The pageant continued with a new spirit. Contestants helped each other, and the audience watched with hope. Mira's team felt proud but also humble. They knew this was only the beginning of their journey in the galaxy. One evening, Mira walked with Rin in the glowing garden. "Thank you for trusting us," she said. Rin smiled. "Earth shows the best of what a new world can be: courage, honesty, and friendship." Mira looked up at the stars beyond the nebula. She thought about the future, a future where Earth was not alone but part of a greater whole. The Universal Beauty Pageant was more than a contest. It was a chance for many worlds to come together and shine, and humanity was ready to shine brighter than ever. The great hall sparkled with light from thousands of stars visible through its clear dome. Contestants from many worlds gathered one last time. The Universal Beauty Pageant was coming to its end. Everyone waited eagerly for the final ceremony. Captain Mira Lang stood quietly with her Earth team. Their journey had been long and full of challenges. They had faced fear, danger, and doubt, but they had shown courage, kindness, and honesty. Now, they waited to see how the Celestial Council would honor each world. The host, the tall silver-skinned being who had welcomed them at the start, appeared at the center stage. The voice that sounded like music filled the hall. Welcome, friends from across the galaxy. Today, we celebrate not just beauty, but the spirit of unity, hope, and friendship. One by one, the judges announced special awards: creativity, intelligence, empathy. Each prize was given to different worlds. When the moment came to name the overall winner, the hall grew silent. The head judge stepped forward. This year, the Celestial Council honors a team that has shown the true heart of the universe. A team that reminds us that beauty is not only in form, but in courage, kindness, and the will to bring worlds together. He smiled and said, "Earth's team." The hall erupted in cheers. Mira felt a warmth in her chest. It was more than a prize. It was a promise. A promise that Earth had a place among the stars. Mira stepped forward to accept the honor. She looked at her team and then at the crowd. "Thank you," she said simply. "We are proud to represent Earth." This journey showed us that every world has a story and every heart can shine. We hope to keep learning, sharing, and growing with you all. As the ceremony ended, many contestants came to congratulate the Earth team. Zoltar's light glowed brighter as he said, "You have earned our respect and friendship." Kira smiled and added, "We look forward to many more adventures together." The celebration went late into the night. Music filled the air, and beings from different planets danced and laughed. For the first time, the universe felt smaller, kinder, and full of hope. Later, Mira stood on the observation deck, looking out at the nebula's swirling colors. She thought about Earth, so far away now, and the future that waited. This pageant had changed everything. It had shown that humans were more than their small planet. They were a part of a greater family in the stars. With a deep breath, Mira smiled. The adventure was just beginning.